Tony. I don't know what it is about this Utah dry weather. The back of my throat is so dry. Okay, we'll wait till 20 seconds or something like
Okay.
that.
Okay. It's snowing today. So yes, I already know about this fickly weather. It's 60
Yes.
degrees a couple days ago, and now there's snow out there.
Oh, that ours started snowing yesterday and today, and I'm just like, oh, can it be spring already? Okay.
Right.
All right. Peace, you guys. Welcome to Just Us Jenkins. If you are seeing me for the first time, I'm Jamillah, stay at home homeschooling mama of three beautiful babies. I'm also a certified Reiki master, okay, lineage healer, generational curse breaker, and owner of healingmama.com. You guys, we are back for another episode of the Motherhood Realness Podcast, and I have my very special guest, my big cousin, Ronita. And it's a purposeful point.
Yes.
Yes, okay. A purposeful point is her name on here. Before we get into our topic tonight, which is, healing through creativity and, the benefits of being creative, and hopefully this helps spark your your playfulness, your creativeness tonight, help you tap in with your inner child, maybe find some things to do with your children and stuff like that. Just a couple of announcements. Motherhood Realness Podcast is always Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then over on my website, over on Healing Mama, I'm doing my February readings for $22.22. And then I have 6 spots left open for my Pisces free readings this month. I might extend it, you guys, because they going. Like I was not expecting them to go, but maybe they going. Okay. And so, Ronita, go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know where we can find you.
Hello, hello, good evening, ladies. My name is Ronita, and I am a purposeful point, and that is the name of my business, and that comes from me living in my purpose. A lot of times that you can have a gift. I had a gift. I grew up with this gift. I was drawing all my life. Actually went to when I went to college. I took a couple figure drawings in college, but when after the kids got a little bit older, they were still there, but I wanted to. I was trying to find something that I was good at that I could pour passion into. And it took me forever. I just thought about what is it? What is it that I could do? What is there something? And a lot of times when you have a gift, because the gift comes naturally to you and it's close to you, you don't realize that it's a gift, and don't always understand that you have a gift. And I was like, it just light bulb when I can draw. So
Mm-hmm.
let me try painting. I'm sure it couldn't be very far from drawing. And I picked up my first paintbrush. So I won't say my first because we did a little bit in high school, but I did painted my first picture probably 2019, right before the pandemic. And then
Mm-hmm.
here I am. Now, during the pandemic, everybody kind of, handle that a little bit differently. I was totally stressed. I didn't know what the future would hold for me and my children. So I went down in the basement and I binge watched videos over and over again. And I discovered fluid art pour painting, where I actually don't even use a paintbrush. And that was my release. That was my creative release, just like Jamillah talked about, having some type of creative release. And that's where I found mine is in the pour painting. It's the fluid, the movement is mesmerizing.
It really is. It really is. Because when I watch your videos, I'm like, well, maybe, shoot, maybe I could paint. Because my stuff be looking like stick figures. But also, Ronita, where can we find you out on your socials?
Okay, so I'm at a purposeful point on Facebook at a purposeful point. I am on um, let me see, Instagram at a purposeful point, and now YouTube, I think is purposeful point, and there's some numbers behind it. That's what they assign for me. So uh,
Mhm.
just take the A off, but it's still, I believe, it's a purposeful point.
Okay.
Um, TikTok, I'm not real big, so we won't even go there as far as what my handle is on
Yes. I'll
there.
make sure to leave all those linked below, you guys. Also, you guys, I just wanted to talk about some benefits as well before we get into some questions and we get into our live demonstration. Um, oh, you're fine. Um, so it being more creative, and especially like in painting, there's benefits of spiritual well-being, feeling more proud of yourself, emotional well-being, less stress and anxiety. So that's very interesting, like when the pandemic happened, that you leaned into this, because I'm sure that like took so much stress off of you.
For sure.
Intellectual well-being, it makes you think better. Relaxation, feeling present and in the flow. To see with a child's eyes, inner child healing. Like I feel like ever since we turned 18, we just turned that whole childhood whimsy off, even as grown adults. I don't care what stage in life you are, you still have to have that optimistic whimsy healing, and being creative allows you to tap into that. It's therapeutic, increased self expression, and then from an energetic standpoint, it balances and opens your sacral chakra, and that's our chakra for healing. And excuse me, creativity and painting. Being creative and fluid helps open and balance that. Okay, Ronita, how long have you been painting exactly?
Well, like I said, I've been drawing all my life, but I really didn't venture into painting. I decided I wanted to teach painting in 2019. So I picked up my paintbrush and I painted a few pictures off of Pinterest. But of course, I would never pick anything off of Pinterest now because I know better. But now
Yes.
I kind of use a little bit of AI to create paintings, sometimes outlines to create paintings. So I've been painting, like I said, for about 4 years with the paintbrush. But during our demonstration, you'll see that I'll be using fluid art. We'll be pouring the paint. We don't use any paintbrushes. And to me, you talk about being creative. You don't have to be creative. You don't always have to use painting or anything like that to be creative. And this here, the way this demonstration is, to me, it's an amazing opportunity to show you how you can still be creative without actually knowing how to paint. I don't know how to paint.
Yeah.
You don't have to. If you like coordinating colors, because I'm not really good at, see, like, I can paint, but I'm not really good about coordinating colors. And
Mm-hmm.
so if that you're somebody that can, that's really I don't know what that person is. I don't want to say fashionable, but there are some people who just can really put colors together and make things pop. Outfits, colors, different, maybe decorating, that type of thing. And so you
Mm-hmm.
can be really creative with this form of art.
Mm. And this form of art is called fluid art.
Fluid art. Mhm.
Okay. And how has your I guess you kind of covered that, but how else has your creativity blossomed and transformed while doing fluid art?
Um, I think, like, of course, and like drawing, I always people ask me, how do you get started? What do you think about it? I always tell them, like, maybe taking a notebook so that you can see your progression. It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing to be able to do that. And then, of course, I can't really put these paintings in a notebook, but I can see how I started. I can
Mm-hmm.
see, and then till where I am now, where I've taken it to a different level. You know, from the basics, and it was self-taught. And then like when I'm teaching people to see where they are, and I was like, wow, I can understand their point of view where they were because I've been there. So yeah, like that. I don't know if that answers the question.
It does. It does. It's so nice to be able to see, like you said, your progression. Like, oh man, I went from stick figures to Picasso. And then, should we use linen or canvas?
Okay, so the canvas is actually, it is, you know, actually, look this, but I was trying to show you that is material. It's cloth, but we put a gesso over the material. And actually I don't gesso myself. Of course, you can buy these in the store already gessoed, or you can use the cloth. And then, well, the cloth, we want the paint to kind of stay on top of the cloth, where if you were using the cloth without the gesso, the paint will stay on top of the gesso. It will sometimes it'll soak through, but we still want to keep the paint on top. But if it was just the cloth without that gesso, I think it would kind of bleed through.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which is fine. And I know sometimes, well, you know, you can, just like if you were making a jacket and you wanted to make it kind of funky, you can put those designs on your jacket, or I've seen them do it with acrylic paint on your jacket or your pants. Not so much this form of painting, but you've given me some ideas.
Honey, with this homeschooling, most of my kids' outfits is acrylic paint on their clothes. And it is so hard to get out, but that might be a trend, like you said. What materials do you recommend?
I the stretch canvas on the wood frame. That's what I'm going to be showing you guys. It's just, I buy these. You can buy these at Michael's. You can order them online. I usually just go to Michael's. I like their quality. Craft stores close. I don't know. I'm sure you guys have Michael's there.
We have Michael's. We have Michael's. This place called Hobby Lobby. But baby, I just be Amazon and stuff.
Yeah, right. And I do Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And the reason I go to Michael's is because, you know, you get the little rewards program, and after you buy so much, you get something. And then also I have a bit of a teacher's discount as well. So of course I'm going to go to Michael's more so, but sometimes there are certain size canvases I might want to use. I do go to Hobby Lobby. I just recently did a program at the Free Public Library where they pay for me to do workshops with the public for free. And I just gave them a list from Amazon, and they ordered the paints and the canvases, and they were nice canvases. So you can definitely get the canvases from there.
Okay. What supplies do you recommend for beginners?
Okay. So, and also I gave that list to the library. So there's we use acrylic paint, and as you know, acrylic paint does stain. And I just tell my painters it does not wash out. So if you get it on there, don't expect it to come out. So with the fluid art, we use we'll grab some acrylic paint, and then we use certain mediums to we want the water to be, the paint to be fluid and kind of loose, because we do different things. I use a blow dryer to blow it. We spin it, different things like that. So we want that paint to be very fluid. So we use a medium to mix with it. And of course you can use water, but we don't want to use just water because we still want the colors to stay. If you add water, then you're thinning down the colors. There's binders in the paint that give the colors the vibrancy. And so when you water it down, then it takes away the colors. So we use different mediums to make the paint more fluid. So my choice is what we call Floetrol. It's used when you see people who use the blowers to paint houses, right? And that stretches the paint. It makes it more fluid and it doesn't take away the color. So we
Mm-hmm.
use that. So that's a recipe. I have a recipe that I do with that. But starting out, I'm not going to recommend you use that. I recommend you buy those that are already made up, ready for you, ready to
Mm.
pour paints. They already have the medium in there with the paints that make it more fluid so that it can move around the canvas. So these, you can buy these at Michael's. You can also, Hobby Lobby also has it. And again, you can buy them online. But I just grabbed this 4-pack to show you. This is probably about $11 or $12. And, again, make sure you grab a coupon from Michael's so you can get it a little bit cheaper. And they, let me see, this one I had one with more colors in it. So this comes with 4 different colors and it's called Fluid Ready to Pour. So it's
Oh.
ready to go ahead and pour and use it for in your fluid art. So I recommend that. And like I said, that's about $11 to $12 for that pack. Now the canvases, you can get a 10-pack of 8x10 canvases at Michael's for $11 or $12, of course. So I guess about $25 you can get yourself started. This
Mm.
pack will make I think about almost 4 and 3 for sure, 3 8x10 canvases. This will
Oh,
pour that. And these are 4 fluid 4-ounce bottles. And that'll
okay.
get you started. And again, you can pick different colors. These are the colors that they pick. So yeah, if you like colors, you want to try something different. You think about the color wheel. You want to think about all of that stuff when you're fluid art, because sometimes you'll maybe get a shirt or outfit. I refer to clothes, but there's other things too. But that one color will make the outfit pop or just coordinate
Yes.
so well with everything. And it's the same thing in painting and coordinate your colors. So you want to think
Mm-hmm.
about that too. Complementary colors, and you're on the color wheel. The complements, they're right across from each other, or you want to grab some that are in the same family. So these are probably like complementary colors, kind of go across the color wheel, and these are in the same family. Or
Mm-hmm.
these 3 on your color wheel. They're gonna coordinate. And so you think about that. You just thought, oh, you're just painting. So it's a little bit more in depth. So it doesn't have to be, again, you just grab your colors, what you like, what you like, and you put those, and we're going to show you, of course, on the canvas. So you just think about it
Yes.
like that.
Okay. So yeah, you guys make sure when you are buying your materials, you go somewhere that you kind of get a little bit of a deal. Okay. All right. Well, we will love to see this beautiful paint, baby.
You guys are ready? Okay. All
Yes.
right. So I'm going to move my camera a little bit, bring it in a little bit closer. So now can you guys see my canvases? So I do have this. I got this at the used to be dollar store, the $1.25 store. This is just a baking rack.
Mm-hmm.
And this helps me. I put my canvases on here. It helps me make sure that the canvases are not touching my surface. And the reason I
Oh.
want to bring it up off the surface, because as the paint dries, then it'll stick to whatever it's touching, right? And I don't want it to stick to my table, I don't use table. I'll put something, paper, if you have paper, plastic, just whatever to protect your surface, because it is kind of messy now, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to elevate my canvases a little bit. So I just grabbed this $1.25. All right. So I
Well,
have 2 canvases that I'm going to show you. I'm going to demonstrate these
Ronita,
little,
sorry to bug you. Can you
what's
turn
that?
your camera the other way so we can get a wider view?
Now,
Well, maybe,
is
I
that
don't
upside
know.
down?
Yes. Baby, it's fine. I know it's
No, it
still
doesn't go
upside
upside
down.
down. It
Oh
still keeps
shoot.
going upside down.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Okay. So as long as we get at least one in at a time, so you can see that.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. That's perfect.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use these three colors for my demonstration. And I grab my little cup. And I'm just going to squeeze my paint into my cup. As you can see that.
Oh, that's a pretty color.
I'm just going to kind of layer my paint in the cup. And this is actually a 2-ounce cup. And actually a full cup, a full 2 ounces will cover an 8x10. So there's a little bit of math and stuff like that. But what I'm showing you guys, don't even worry about the math. Okay.
Okay.
I'm doing it for you. That 2 ounce will cover 8x10, but I do recommend maybe using 3 ounces rather than the 2 ounce. That way you make sure you have enough to play with and to cover your whole canvas. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of layering my paint till it reaches the top.
And you layer it in no particular order, just however you feel called.
I'm going in order because I'm anal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm anal. So, but what I just, because I have 2 shades of pink, I have a light pink and a dark pink, and I have the blue. I just separated the 2 pinks with the blue.
Oh, okay.
That's my method. And then, whatever kind of feels comfortable. And that's the thing. There's no right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fluid. It's versatile. It's you do what feels good to you. It
Okay.
just in my opinion, okay? Because sometimes
Yes.
I'll pour it and on there, and it might not feel good to me. Sometimes I let it dry overnight, and it's a whole different painting. Sometimes I pour it and I love it, and I stare at it for about 30 minutes. I'll go to
Mm-hmm.
bed, and the first thing in the morning, I run down here and look at it some more.
I'm like that too. Maybe it's a family trait.
For some reason, my volume went away.
Oh.
So, I mean, I can hear you, but it's like far away. And I've
Mm.
messed with my controls. Okay.
I can hear you really good though. Uh-oh. Maybe she's gonna come back in. Here we go.
Can you see me? I'm back.
Yes, we can
Okay.
see you.
Now
Can you
that I
hear
can
me?
hear you. Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you. Great. Sorry about that.
That's okay. These dang Wi-Fi connections.
So where was I? I'll separate my colors. So I'm just
Yes.
separating my colors. Do you have any questions? Does anybody ask any questions?
Nope, no questions right now.
So I just lost count. So like I said, it really doesn't matter how it
Mm-hmm.
gets in there. So
But you're aiming to fill the cup all the way to the top.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
without going over because I don't want to spill it out on my hands. Now,
Mm-hmm.
because of I do like to wear plastic gloves just to stay. It washes out of your hands, not out of your clothes. But
Mm-hmm.
I Sometimes I hate going to work trying to dig paint out of my nail beds. So
Right? Yes. That acrylic paint, honey, is something else.
yes. So look, this is the wild part about it, guys. So now I'm just gonna pour the paint on the canvas. I'm gonna move my glasses too. Sometimes it can be messy, but I don't want to play that game.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys see that? I'm just pouring the paint on there.
Oh, that's so pretty.
No.
This is relaxing.
It is. It's therapeutic. You just think about you just whatever is ailing you just poured right out on that canvas.
Hmm.
And this fluid art is very unpredictable
Hmm.
because I don't know if you guys can see, the only colors I see are the blue and the dark pink. I don't even see the light pink, right?
Mm.
So it has
Yeah.
it does what it does. It does what it wants to do. You can't always predict what it's going to do. You can't always control it. You can start practicing and coming up with a certain method, but in the end, the fluid art's going to do what the fluid paint is move. It's just like water. You know,
Hmm.
we build dams and all kinds of different things to try to control the water. And you can control it over only so, but it's going to do what it's going to do.
Yes.
And that's the same thing with the fluid paint because it's fluid. So now you see the light pink at the very end.
Ooh.
Okay. I always have plenty of paper towels handy.
Costco membership check.
Yes, that's where I get mine from Costco for sure. So I don't know if you guys get in close. So this is
Oh,
kind of like a ring pour, and I just poured it, and it just kind of looks like rings.
yes. It looks like the galaxy. I love it.
Yes, I've done a presentation with some kids, and they said the black hole, the galaxy. They were all
Yeah.
yes, that's what they said as well. And so now I'm gonna pick it up and then just kind of start tilting. And this is where, to me, the mystery begins. You don't know
Mm.
what's gonna come out. You don't know how it's gonna end. And my goal right now is to try to get the top of the canvas covered as much as possible before I start pouring off the sides. If it
Oh.
doesn't, because there it goes, it's off the side and I don't have it covered. So it's not mandatory. It's just what my initial goal is, to try to get kind of see how it's starting to distort. You just,
Yes.
and then I start tilting off, try to see what I can see. And I
Oh,
try to go
that's so
slow
pretty.
because, fluid art is fast, but I just still kind of try to go slow. Again, because it's mesmerizing.
It is, honey. This is relaxing.
Yeah. So now I'm just trying to get all of my sides. And that's not even, you don't even have to worry about actually covering all your sides. You just, some things you can do at the end to cover your sides, but that's all I'm going to do. And sometimes as you pour, you might start to see a design or something that kind of comes out at you.
Hmm.
You might like a section more than you like another section. You might see a face, you might see a shape or something, a composition that you like and you want to develop more. And to develop
Yes.
that more is maybe to tilt the painting a different way. You see how there's the pink is on,
Oh, shoot.
okay? So it'll start moving. Or I want to get rid of that light pink at the end. So I'm going to tilt it this way to take it off. And so now I just I like that blue and the pink, but it's probably going to dry pretty dark. And are you there?
Yes.
Okay. it's probably going to dry kind of dark. So that's why I kind of like a contrasting color in my
Mm-hmm.
painting, because yeah, that's probably going to be dark. I have the two, that light one and the
Mm-hmm.
dark one is probably going to dry darker, because acrylic paint, it does dry darker.
Yes. Ooh, that's so pretty.
So I'm going to do one more simple one. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
move that out of the way. I just have to make some space over here.
I just I put you up on the stage by yourself so we can see better.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. And then after this dries, that's when you could go ahead and add like an image to it if you wanted to.
Yes, you can use stencils. You
Hmm.
can, yeah, if you can add an image there. Those are great for backgrounds. I don't have
Hmm.
anything with me to show you that where I will put something on top of it. They make great backgrounds for you to, just kind of add anything on top of it, a flower, or like you said, an image, um, phrases. If you had,
Hmm.
like I said, a stencil with some words or something like that, these pour paintings make a excellent background for something like that. If
Mm.
you did stenciling or whatever like that. Okay, so now my next one that I want to try is called a ribbon pour. And this one is an example of a ribbon pour. Yeah, it's kind
Oh,
of neat. So
that is.
that's where the contrast and colors kind of work together, which makes it super, super awesome. So
It's
that's,
like it's psychedelic.
yes, it's funky. It's funky.
Yes, funky. Yes.
So I'm gonna do the same thing. I put down a black base. I just pour some black paint on the canvas, and then I'll show you
Ooh.
what I'm gonna do with that.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired.
Yeah,
Ooh.
paint down. And that's why I say you don't use a paintbrush. You don't have to. I can't paint. You don't have to. You can just. We're all creative. We're all
Hmm.
creatives. All of us, just in something different. Some
Yes.
people in art, some people in music, some people in designs. When they do, even in social media, you do different. People who do social media for you, maybe create the Canva templates and all that different stuff. That's all being super creative.
Yes. That digital creation.
Yes, the
Yes.
digital creations and stuff. Yeah, stuff like that. So um, I'm not trying to cover it. I'm just trying to spread the paint out a little bit.
Hmm.
So
That's
it's a lot.
cool.
And like some people, even I've had people say that it's not real art, but
What?
it's abstract. Any abstract art is subjective. So
Yes.
you know that's you.
Yes. I think it's gorgeous.
So now I am going to do the same thing I did before with the pouring the paints in the cup. You guys can
Mm.
see that. And I'm going to try to lighten up a little bit, use lighter colors since I have that black base.
Mm.
So just maybe pink and white. Let me see if I have anything else that's kind of light. Not really. Stick with the pink and white. And I'm now for this, I already have some paint on there, so I'm not going to fill my cup up.
Mm.
Just messing around, making a mess.
A beautiful mess.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. You don't know. It's all about experimentation, finding what works for you, and all that stuff. So it's just having fun.
Hmm.
And so now this one I call it a ribbon pour, and I squeeze my cup a little bit. so I can make me a sprout. And I'm just gonna
Ooh.
kind of like a figure eight. Let's see how that works. I want to make
Ooh.
sure that I still have some of that black in the background. So
This is what my kids would call satisfying.
yes, they would love it.
Yes. Everything's satisfying. Mom, it's so satisfying.
This would definitely be, and I like, the kids, they would like that. I have a couple of other techniques that it would be really fun for the kids as well, specifically. So the one that I'm thinking for kids is the the water bottle, a plastic
Mhm.
water bottle, the bottom of that water bottle.
Mhm.
I'm trying to see if I can find mine. I cut the bottom out. I'll show you. I took a water bottle and I cut the bottom of my water bottle.
Ooh.
So I cut that and I put that in the center of my canvas, in the center of my canvas, and I'll
Mhm.
pour different colors of paint, and you can see how neat it runs down the side,
Mhm.
right? And so it creates a really fun design. And then I take that off, and then I start tilting, and come
Oh,
up with
wow.
like that. I thought the kids would like that. That would be fun for kids, and that's
Oh.
something easy.
Mhm.
So let me see. Now that's the thing about this. If this is quick,
It is.
so
Yeah.
you're having a funky day, you go down here and pour that paint on this canvas, do a little tilting real quick, and it's just like smoking a quick cigarette, and then you're good to go.
I love that analogy. Yes.
Well, I
Ooh.
don't know. I don't smoke, so
Me
I just
either.
assume, I'm assuming that's how.
Yes. This is more health. This is the more healthier version.
Right, right.
Wow. Look at that. That's awesome.
So it just kind of stretches it out, and
Wow.
yeah.
And I love those colors together.
Oh, well, thanks, because I sure didn't put any thought to it. It's like I said, I'm not real good at putting my colors together now. But
Ooh.
because a lot of times I'll call Monique or Benny and say, "Hey guys, give me some colors." And they'll so just so you know, it's my secret.
Oh.
They put my colors together. I just
Oh,
painted.
that's awesome. Wow. Yeah, look at that. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, that was just a quickie for you guys. Like I said, something fun. Experiment with it. A lot of people, and just like you talked about, young people, I've taught older people, younger people, the high school, middle school, they are so creative. They're so creative.
Mhm.
They have not had life to harness their creativity, which I'm not saying that it
Yes.
is. I'm just saying that's what we put our, and I'm guilty and don't even know that I do it sometimes. Maybe putting my I guess fears and restrictions that I have in my head on our kids,
Yeah.
when I don't want to do that. That's not my intention, but sometimes we do that. And then
Mhm.
so um, when I go to do paint parties, most adults want me to put the design on there. The young people, they don't want the design.
Mhm.
They want to create something of their own. And I love watching them create and doing that, because they haven't been tainted by society yet. So
Yes.
yes, yes. And so so there we go.
Oh. And then you can just leave it on the rack like you have it and let that dry all
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
Okay.
And this, it is, because it's pouring paint on there. It's kind of thicker. It's a little bit heavier. It may take this usually will maybe overnight, but sometimes some of the paintings that I've done, sometimes it will take almost 3 days to dry. It just depends on how much paint that you have on
Mhm.
your canvas, and different things like that.
Oh, okay. So tell me, Ronita, how do you find your your inspiration? I know you had mentioned earlier about finding some stuff off of Pinterest, but when you go to do Ronita does paint parties and stuff like that. Do you still do those virtually if somebody wanted to book those through you?
I do virtual, yes. So I know my inspirations a lot of times it is simple. And like when I was doing the Pinterest, that was like I saw some paintings on Pinterest and I painted them and say, hey, let's have a paint party. Um, after you don't take other people's art.
Mm-hmm.
So that was I learned that. Nope, I wasn't approached or anything, but you just think about if you create something beautiful, how would you feel if someone took that in as their own or mimicked it? And although, sometimes they say mimicking somebody is the greatest form of admiration, but come on, we know that people are not doing that. So that I would never do that, but I still look at some things on Pinterest. I look at pictures. I've even saw someone else's Facebook page. One of my friends, she had this dress that was flowing, and I
Mm-hmm.
said, wow, that would look so good with and with the, using pour painting. So I did a pour painting of her and painted her on there. And I said, hey, Audra, look. And she said, oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I was like, hey, just pay for shipping and I'm sending it to you. So, I mean,
Oh.
just right. It's just different places. And I'll see something. It might not even be the same as what I see. It just led me to another idea. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Facebook groups, and so now with the pour paint, not paint, the the paint and sips that I do, I am
Mm-hmm.
in I do pay a membership, and she in that membership, we do share designs.
Mm-hmm.
So some of not all my painted sips, it might not be some. I do a few, but it's set up, it's designed for somebody who's busy, and this is the paint sip is a side job, and so she
Mm-hmm.
said, we'll take that worry about coming up with a design because you have to come up with designs monthly because I'm painting monthly.
Oh,
I have
yes.
venues that I paint with every month, and so we want to have something on trend. We want to have something different. So I do pay a membership for some of my designs. And then sometimes I get my iPad, and I don't know if you guys heard of Procreate.
Yes.
Yes. So I have Procreate, and I'll come up with some designs there and maybe and do that. And then again, also I do pay for some because again, I do have a full-time job and a full-time family. And
Yes.
those things kind of but now my art, that's of course that's totally different. That's me. I am in I don't do any paid memberships for my art, my pour
Mm-hmm.
painting, but you do see things, ideas and different things like that. But I'm excited that like a lot of my art, I do the paintings and I add the ladies. I do paint a figure in there, and I've noticed that in all my groups that I'm the only one doing that. So I'm excited about being
Those
a
are my
trendsetter.
favorite. Yes, those are my favorite. Do you have any
Yeah,
of those that you could show us?
I do. They're kind of big, so we'll see. I might have to scoot the screen back a little bit.
That's okay. Those are my favorite. They're so beautiful.
All right, so this one, I don't know. Yeah, that's
Yes.
far back enough. So that's
Yes.
just me. I did the pour painting. I poured the paint on the canvas, and then I actually use a blow dryer to manipulate the paint to blow it out. And then sometimes sometimes I already have a vision of a woman that I want, and I blow it out. But sometimes I'll just do a blow. I'll blow it out, and I start kind of studying it. And I look at pictures of dancers I because the art is fluid, it's the paint is fluid, it's moving. I want to put an image that mimics that flow of the paint. So I'll put
Mm-hmm.
something in, I'll see a woman and I'll add that to it. Or sometimes, now this one I took and used this one as my
Oh.
I, as my like, I won't say a mascot, but this one is, I've already had people reach out, say, is it for sale? Can I buy it? I'm not selling it because I want it to be, she's um my theme music. She's like,
Yeah, like your
yeah,
logo.
my logo of my
Yeah.
business. So this painting, I didn't have anything, and I did, of course, have an idea to put a woman there, and I blew it out, and then I saw the image, the woman in there, but I was afraid I didn't want to mess it up. So this
Yeah.
painting sat for, I don't know, about 6 or 7 months.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
And I didn't want to mess it up. And so I was scared. It sat for months and months until I decided, I got brave enough to add the arm, the head, and the legs. So all of this here, that's the pour painting, right? I didn't
Uh-huh.
embellish. It's called it embellish. So I didn't embellish any of this. This is all the paint. It looks like her hips and her waist. That's all the paint did that. And then I just
Oh.
came in and added her face and her arms.
Oh, she
That's
is
kind of like,
gorgeous.
that's my signature art. That's, I do some other things, but that's my signature. Let me see.
So gorgeous.
Okay, so this is my very, I've not sold it because this is my very first one that I did. I
Oh.
I was like, I don't know what, I might have seen someone else do it, and I added that. I cut out a picture of a lady and put that and traced her on there. And
Oh.
that's when it took off for me. I started
Yes.
throwing ladies in all my paintings.
So beautiful.
So yes, that's my art. And usually I don't keep these because
Hmm.
they sell fast.
Yeah, I believe it because,
They sell
oh,
fast.
that reminds me because, if you melanated, carbonated like us, you grow up with those beautiful pictures hanging in your house,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
everybody got the same pictures, but those ones right there, chef's kiss. Now, let me ask you, Ronita, do you think that you could do, I know this is weird, but could you do the pour painting with watercolors?
Um, they do that, the ink, I've seen people do the ink, which is thin like that. And the watercolors, I do have some liquid watercolors. I've never used them. And absolutely you can. I'm thinking the only challenge would be, again, if to make sure that the pigments, but
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't matter because watercolors is thin and light anyway. So if you did
Mm-hmm.
do the pour paintings, and then maybe the colors would blend.
Mm.
So really, when I'm kind of doing the pour paintings, I kind of want to, the colors do blend and minimally, but you
Mm-hmm.
kind of want to, they're so vibrant and rich. Some of them you want to keep them separate. So
Mm-hmm.
I would, so I have some, because I do free paint. I was doing free paint classes during the pandemic for 2 years. I did every Thursday. We did free paint classes, and some of the ladies, instead of paying me, they sent me supplies and they sent me some
Oh.
watercolors and a liquor. And I've never used the watercolors. They were like, "Have you ever done watercolors? You should try it." And I've tried it, and I'm not that good at it. So with everything, some people say they can't paint, but with everything, if you practice, you can.
Mm-hmm.
I have a girlfriend I went to college with. She couldn't sing, and now she sings really. She does it
Oh.
karaoke. She likes it and whatever, and she sounds pretty good. So
Go
it
ahead,
just
girl.
right. So just if I've spent more time with the watercolor, maybe I could develop my skill at that. But I'm now I'm going to try to see how that watercolor would work if I use watercolors to pour. I
Mm-hmm.
probably would do more so of putting them on there because they're already pretty fluid.
Mm-hmm.
And if I poured them in a cup, they would probably start blending together.
Mm-hmm.
When you pour those in the cup, you can see on the painting that they still stayed separate. The blue
Mm-hmm.
didn't mix with the pink, they were separate. The watercolor, since they're thin, they would mix. So I was thinking maybe if I poured them on the canvas individually and maybe took a straw, because some of the stuff I do use a
Oh.
straw, and kind of blew it out like that into a design, a composition that you had in your head, to blow it out like that, I think you could do it that way.
Okay. What about, because I'm still trying to learn my terms, but what about like oil-based paints?
Oil-based paint. Um, I don't know that. I've never used oil paint. They're very expensive. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, paint, it can get kind of pricey, but to want to try to do um the oil paintings and try to extend that, you know, you gotta, it's getting kind of pricey when if you're gonna try to thin out a oil paint and then and do that. If you can
Mm-hmm.
see that, I mean, I was very good. You didn't see the amount that wastes, that runs off. You know, some people use those, they call them skins, they'll use them, and you can see what they make jewelry. You can
Oh
make the
yeah.
funky design jewelries. I'm going to be experiment with that as well. But you can do that with like that, because so you don't waste as much. But you have to think about that with that oil painting, that oil paint being so expensive. And so
Yes.
even like back in the whatever hundreds or whatever, when they started painting, their fluid art is fairly new, but it's not. They tried it back in the day, but because again that oil paint was so expensive,
Mm-hmm.
they it's not very you won't find very many artists who experimented with it back then. It wasn't until 1930 something or whatever, where the Floetrol, those additives that they put in the paint to paint your house, they
Mm-hmm.
added it, and then that's when maybe somebody picked it up, because you think about the price of um, I guess watering down expensive paint. So
Oh yeah.
yes.
Do you have a favorite brand?
um the for beginners, that deco art that I showed you,
Mm-hmm.
that brand I do, that's my
Mm-hmm.
favorite for beginners. I did when I was commissioned to do work in the library, and I was trying to figure out what paint brands I wanted them to buy. I did grab
Mm-hmm.
another brand. I think this was about this. I got this off Amazon. This one was
Mm-hmm.
about $30, and it came with 8 colors,
Ooh.
and then it has a pouring medium in it. You add this to thin out the paint as well, and it says
Oh, okay.
gloss, so it'll be a shiny. It'll give it a shine to it, and then it's got some oils in it. So I'm going to show you what some people add this oil, just a couple of drops. It has a
Mm-hmm.
chemical reaction to the in the paints, and it causes a different design. I'll show you one where I put the oil in it.
Okay.
So that this is good as for a beginner as well, because it's kind of pre-mixed, and the colors are gorgeous. They're nice
They
and
look good. Yeah.
bright. Yes,
They look very vibrant. Like you
yes,
said, funky.
yes. So this, I put the oil in the paint.
Oh,
You can see
wow.
those. It causes the
Yes.
paint to separate and get just different designs. So that's what you see in that
It
one.
that one does kind of look like water paint in a way. Like,
Mhm, mhm.
yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. Okay, so what advice would you give the mamas, the ladies, to get into that creativity spirit?
Wow, it's like I had a lady today ask me about um, having time, which having time to what she wasn't talking about this. She just said in general having time to paint. Um, which um, it's hard for me to be. I'm kind of biased. I because of the way that I was raised. I I was raised by my grandparents, and so I had parents, but I wasn't raised by my parents. Not to try to go into that because I don't like anything negative, but I just knew that I wanted my kids to have different than what I had. I wanted, and I was a full on, my whole world and my whole life was dedicated to my children.
Yes.
I was that was my number one job. So, um, I had, and I think about it. Like I said, I painted in college. I I didn't touch any of that. I was drawing my drawing pencils for years and years and years. And then I think about it. I was like, you know, um, God does things in his own time, and he knew
Hmm.
what I wanted. And so this didn't come up. I didn't start painting until like the kids were older, and they were, they're in their teens and they could kind of do for themselves. So if this had a came, so that's why I said if you have mom and if you're a full on and different, it's a different mindset. I
Yes.
know it would have been a bigger struggle for me to be able to do this and then do that, because that was they're equally important to me.
Yes.
And and that would have took precedence over everything.
Oh yeah. Oh
So,
yeah.
right, so now it just kind of shifts for me. And even when I'm working a full-time job, and even with the business and the different things that I had, even when the kids were like, I have one off to college, I'm just only one now. And he's 15, so how much does he do I put into him? But I take them, of course, they're with me in my business right there, understanding everything about, learning about business, learning about all kinds of things like that. But even when there was times where I didn't have that balance, I would lay awake at night painting a picture in my head over and over again the whole week, because I knew there was Saturday for 2 hours that I was
Hmm.
dedicated. And I knew that I wouldn't do anything but come down here and paint that picture. So,
Yes.
and I just feel like if you're that creative spirit that you have, um, so I believe in self-care. I believe that you have to make time for what's important. You make time for what's important to you. Even if
Yes.
it's your kids, your husband, if you exercise, go out to eat out, you will make time for that. So it's the same
Yes.
thing with your creative spirit. Even if I believe in like scheduling. And I mean,
Hmm.
I ain't gonna lie and say I'm always doing that and I'm good at it. But like I said, when I'm really busy, and I do, sometimes when you're busy, you actually you get more things done because you don't have time to dilly dally. So you go ahead and
Yep.
get things done. So I'll reserve. I know that I don't have anything Saturday. If the kids will go do their sports, go to all their activities, blah blah blah. We're done by 4, right?
Hmm.
So 4 is my time. And for however reason, however karma works, or the way the universe worked it out, my kids knew that I had put that time in with them that beginning of the day. And then my time was 5 o'clock to bedtime was my time, and they let me have it. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I don't. They just, we were vibing like that. I vibe with
Hmm.
my kids. I vibe. It's awesome. It's amazing. Just talking to you guys, I think about it. It's like, yes, we really vibe. So
Yes.
I didn't have to say anything, and they let me have that time because they knew how that I have invested what I invested in them, and so they allowed me to have that space. And I'll come down here and paint my, just like I told you, I have a recipe for mixing my paints. I
Hmm.
buy regular acrylic paints just off the shelf, whatever kind, and I put that added in it to make it fluid. Just mixing the paints is part of the experience for me. Just meditate, you know, the Zen,
Yes.
even still just mixing that up. And then, I'll spend an hour mixing the paint. before my big painting and then start pouring.
Oh, yes.
That was a
And
lot.
just, oh, hey, we here for it. We here for the long-winded, honey. Just to add some to that, like, I feel like ever since 2020 and, everything that's happened, it has been so much more normalized pouring into yourself. And I feel like moms deserve, like, we do so much for everything and
Mhm.
everybody, and we deserve to have that time. So whoever is seeing this, let this be your sign. If you have something that you've done since you were younger, bring it on back. Like,
Bring
I
it
feel
on
like
back.
that's been a message lately. It's just bring
Mhm.
those things that created and sparked creativity when you were a child. Bring those things back because they bring so much joy and stuff. Yeah,
Because I was playing Welcome But and Gorilla Tag,
you have.
and I was flying like this.
Oh. As we
Yeah,
talk about it right now.
But
Yes.
right.
but everybody's like, is that kid flying
Here,
in
drink it.
actually Gorilla Tag?
Y'all. But yes, let your creativity flow. Bring it back. Do
Find
some
out
more stuff.
find out what talks to you. Just like I said, that was my gift. And when your gift, something's close to you, it comes easy to you. So
Thank you.
yeah, and you find something that comes easy to you, it's just easier to slide right into doing it, or you doing a little bit of it quickly, just to grab a
Mhm.
snippet of it because it's
Yes.
natural to you. It's your gift.
Yeah. And the more we pour into ourselves, the easier and effortlessly we can pour into everybody else.
Everybody else. Yes. And you will be able to deal with things that come at you that maybe you haven't normally been able to deal with. So I'm like, okay, this is crazy right now, but when I get home, I'm going to pour all of that out onto that canvas
Yes.
so I can keep it together until then.
Yes. And that's why creativity is so therapeutic and transformative. You can see yourself in another light.
Mommy,
Okay.
how are you not
Yeah.
talking on the TV?
Huh?
Jeanette is watching you.
She is. Go watch it.
Hi, Jeanette.
He's like, you're talking on the TV. Janess is watching it. But anyway, Ronita, tell us again where we can find you at.
Okay, you can find me at a purposeful point, and point is spelled PONTE instead of, I try to make a little play on that. But of course, after I um, created my name, branding tells you don't make it hard for people, but that's it is what it is. So let's make it
Yes.
do. So at a purposeful point on Instagram and Facebook. YouTube is a purposeful point and some numbers after it. So
Okay, and I'll make sure I leave those. I'll go copy and paste it and leave it in the description box. If y'all want to book you a nice little virtual paint and sip, okay, with Ronita, do that because
yeah.
why not? But I appreciate you being on here, everybody. I love you too.
He's talking to the screen.
I appreciate everybody that joined us on the live. If you're catching this on the replay, leave us some comments. Okay. Once again, Motherhood Realness Podcast are every Friday. Oh my lord, at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And you guys, see, they only give me an hour. Okay, they only give me an hour.
It is, and you've reached it.
But if you're new, we'd love to have you stick around, subscribe, ding the bell so you get all of our notifications. Head over to Ronita's channel and subscribe, okay? Because she's given that fluid art realness, baby. And thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. Thank
We'll do
you.
it again. We'll do it again. You don't have to hang up. I'm gonna hang up with the live though.
Okay.
Okay, peace, you guys.